لك ايه، انا حاسس ان السلوك دي هتفك في حاجات كتير قوي متلخلخه.
طب ما احنا نكملها بقى بالشريط اللي
لسه في سلك اتفك، تعالى كده الحمل.
قرانا ولا لسه؟
لا ثواني ما طلعش الكود دلوقتي. انت زودت الحته اللي احنا عايزين نزودها؟
المفروض نجرب الاعداد فمش شغال.
بس السنسور شغالين.
Hello, this is T-06. I'm Ahmed Samad. This is Muhammad Samih and Muhammad Salah. So for our project, we built this card that's mainly targeted for the people who loses focus. The main idea that it has these three IR proximity sensors. It detects any objects while driving. Basically, you have the total control of the car till one of the sensors detect any object. When one of the sensors detect, the altera cuts off your control and it sends the signal for the car to avoid any object. By this process, the risk of having any accidents is decreased. For further information about the car, Muhammad Samih will tell you about.
Hello, I'm Muhammad Samih. So first of all, we bought two ready-made cars with the remote controls. This is our prototype. As you can see, it went very badly. So this is the car we used. The main idea was to be able to cut off the signal coming from the remote and replace it with the signal coming from the altera. So when you use this button, the front and back button, it's supposed to send the signal to the rear motor, which rotates the rear tires. So the signal is sent from the remote, received by the antenna, and is projected through these two nodes. So we put in two wires in these nodes, and these two wires are basically an input to the altera. Also, these two nodes are the input coming from the side remote. So they are also inputs to the altera. So the altera has four inputs, two inputs from remote 1 and two inputs from remote 2. It also has four outputs, two outputs for the front motor, which turns you sideways, and two outputs for the rear motor, which rotates you front and back. It also has three inputs, which are the three IR sensors. These are digital sensors which only send one bit. So if any sensor of the sensors reads something, the altera is going to react. This will be seen further in the code when Muhammad Salah explains the code. So basically the problem we faced was that the output coming from the altera was very low and couldn't rotate the motor. So we needed at least 5 volts to be able to rotate the front and rear motors. So we needed an H bridge which works on two motors. It has two outputs. It just takes an input which is a low voltage and transforms it to a higher voltage, which is the voltage that you require. We basically put in the two inputs coming from the altera. The altera has a 5 voltage output and the ground. So the 5 voltage output and the ground are inputs in the breadboard, and then the H bridge takes the power from the 5 voltage coming from the altera and transforms any other voltage, and it's outputted as 5 volts. So this is basically all the wiring. Now Muhammad Salah is going to talk to you about the code.
Hello everybody, I'm Muhammad Salah and I'm going to talk to you about the code that makes this car move as Ahmed told you. Basically the code went through two phases. First phase was testing it through LEDs, and the second phase was testing it through the remote and the real motor of the car. The code has three inputs from the sensors, from the IR sensors, the front, right and left. Also it got two inputs from the remote. These two inputs are 2-bit inputs. However, the IR inputs are only 1 bit. So basically, as Muhammad Salah told you about the nodes and these stuff, it was mapped through the code by testing in an always block. There are 4 cases. First case is that none of the IR sensors are detecting, then you drive as you like. The second case is that the right sensor is only detecting, or the front and right sensor are detecting. In this case, the car will force you to steer left in order not to avoid the accident. by sending to the front motor, which is responsible for steering the wheels, 0, 1. The second case, which is the opposite of the previous one, is that the left sensor is detected or the front and left sensor are detected. In this case, the car also will force you to steer right in order to avoid the accident by sending 1, 0 to the front motor to force the wheels to steer left. The next case is if only the front sensor has detected something. Then the car will automatically go steer right and avoid this obstacle. Our fourth case is that if you face a wall in front of you, then the 3 sensors will automatically detect. This program is smart. It will make the car move backwards and left at the same time. So it will make the car facing the right a little bit, so that it will make you have a new possibility to have an empty way in front of you. So by this way, the car is programmed to avoid any obstacle it faces from the right, from the left, from the right and left together, or from any IR sensors detecting it. And they are put in the car so that it can get all its edges, so that we can. And now the presentation of the car with all of us 3.
So now we are going to run the code on the computer. So as you can see now, the code is on the Altera. The car isn't moving, but when Ahmed Hussam moves the remote, front, it moves to the front, backwards, it moves backwards, left and right. Now Ahmed will move it to the front. So now we will interfere with the sensors and see what happens.
When interfering with the right sensor, the wheels steer left. When interfering with the right and front sensor, the wheels also steer right, left.
When we interfere with the left sensor, the car moves to the right. When interfering both with the front and the left, it also steers right.
When interfering with the middle sensor, it moves right. And when interfering with all the sensors, it moves backwards and right. So this was our project. We think that by using more advanced coding and more advanced equipment, it can be implemented in much more advanced applications.
Thank you for watching our